So as you may be able to guess, I got here last night. I paddled out, it's like 1.3 miles. So I am out in kind of the center of this reservoir right now, which is a paddle only reservoir. So the water should be really calm and smooth, and it is peak foliage right now in Vermont. And yeah, it is beautiful out here. It is crazy bright yellow, orange, red. By the time I'm done eating breakfast, the sun should be up, and I have some things to show you guys. My little cove is actually pine trees out onto the tip, but some of these other parts of the reservoir are very much deciduous trees that change colors. All of these deep red trees have lost their leaves over on my side. I think it's just a little windier than this side has been, so it's cool to actually see a little bit of this still up in the trees. Sorry for shaking. My hands are cold. Oh boy, we got hail, sleet, something that's not rain. It is snowing. Oh man. This wind just keeps picking up, so I might actually head back to my camp. I don't know if you can hear all the loons. They are going ape shit. It's supposed to be a nice, clear, sunny day, so my hope is that this will kind of take over this way. I'd like to try to hike up into that and show you what it really looks like up close, but I'm gonna wait until that sun really takes over so that you can see how vibrant those colors really are. The loon just went underwater here. No telling where it's gonna come up though. When I get to my side, I can tell it's mine because I've got this tree sticking out of it that's like, hey, what are you doing? And that's my little tent right in there. Now that the sun's picked up, you can see this is my view across. Yeah, I can give you a sense of kind of where we are here. This is the entire reservoir. I'm at site 17, so way up on this little tip of the peninsula. And then what you just saw was me coming out of 17, and then I went down this edge, and then I went through here. So this is the site with all the red trees you saw, and then I came around Big Island. This is where the loon was, and then I came back up to my site here, maybe 2 miles plus or minus. But what I'm looking at is Umbrella Hill over here. This is where all that crazy orange scenery is straight across the water. So I'm thinking I might try to, I'm gonna try to find my way to this trail and check out that foliage from the inside. I'm just gonna go across to the other side of Picnic Island, see if I can hide my boat. And this island is right there. These people look like they may be assigned to that site. If they go to shore. I'm not going to intrude. So I think I'll actually head up around this way and try to get over to where there is that bridge. That is right on the trail. So I'm just going to try to find a spot right near this bridge, but off the beaten path, where I can tuck my boat. I assume most of the people that are out here are going to be on their own boats. They're not going to be looking to borrow mine, but better safe than sorry, because if I don't have a boat, I'm on the opposite side of the reservoir. There's no, I'd have to bushwhack my way over to a stranger's camp and ask them for a ride across the water. Blue doesn't really blend in with green, but just gonna leave it like that. I don't know if it really matters. I do have a hunter orange hat. It's not rifle season yet, but it's there. Pretty sure you can still bird and bow hunt right now. So speaking of bird, I just spooked a partridge. It's like almost a little land bridge. Ooh, swampy. I'm gonna wager that this is a seldom used trail. This is very thick and grown over. I think we've hit the golden yellow level. I think that's the tent site, so, oh yeah, that's the cribby. So I'm back behind site 10 where I was gonna start from. I haven't showed you my toilet, but theirs is a lot like mine. Except for theirs has a trail. Walks right up on it. That would be a little awkward. Look at how bright this is. I love the fall. What the heck is that? What on earth? Okay. Things are just the same amount of yellow, or they're getting more green almost. So, all right, I'm gonna double back. I saw something weird in the woods I want to check out. Like it almost looked like a roof. You see that? Shape. It's just something unnatural looking right there. Let's see if there's an even bigger tire axle. Holy mushrooms, Batman, what are these? If they're edible, they're like already set up to be like potato chips or something. Curious what the heck this is. Yeah, what the heck? Is this just a perfectly angled rock? Seems very unlikely. What? That is so bizarrely, perfectly. And it's a trap too, because it lures you here. And I walked right underneath this widowmaker. I didn't even see it. Don't blow, wind. Yeah. Let's go get my boat back. Seem to have jumped the trail, I believe, according to my GPS. I'm seeing little signs on the trees with a little cat paw, and it says XC. So I believe this trail actually is the Catamount cross-country skiing trail, which I believe is the whole entire state. So I don't think I'll just keep following this. I could follow this river, but probably easier to find my trail than it is to do that. You can only see this trail on the GPS, so with my phone battery being kind of low, I'm gonna use the compass on my phone and just go west, because I can just go straight over. I'll shave some time off, unless I hit something that's challenging to navigate around. Get real up close and personal with the foliage now. Wasn't what I was planning, but nothing ever is. The trail I was on was not doing me any favors. It was taking me like northeast. I needed to go pretty much directly west. Kind of hitting a bog here though. This is what I was worried about. I'm here, I'm headed there. So that's me. That's the bridge I came across. So I'm just gonna head north and see if I can pass this bog at some point, because this is pretty nasty. That's west. That's north. I'm just gonna kind of head this way until I can find a spot to get in. So kind of par for the course. Walk fast, walk fast. All right. If I can get across this and up that hill, that's like mud. But if you can get on these logs, you don't sink too bad. And conveniently, one of my feet was already drenched anyway. Wow. Ooh, we're going for a ride. Ready? Ooh. Okay. I do believe my trail is right up here. There it is. My trail. But man, doesn't this look like, I swear I just ducked under the same log on that other trail that was way to the east of this. Literally almost out of the woods now. So let's go see if my boat stayed put. I also think I set down, I was missing part of my tripod. I set it down and then I never picked it back up. So hope my boat, my oar, my vest, and my tripod are all waiting for me. A couple of canoers down here. You gotta duck under this. These canoers are badass. riding underneath the bridge. Oh, look who's in the woods over there. My boat. I always separate my oar from my boat, because if someone finds one or the other, they can't use them together to ride away. A little pro tip for the paranoid. One, two, three, 4 for 4. Awesome. I don't really trust this as deep as it is. We'll ease in. You want to stand up with me? Back home we go. So that's where we just were. The top there where the orange and red trees start to turn back to green. We were there. And then that is the tip we're camping on. Home sweet home. I had to change out of my wet socks and shoes. That marsh did me in. The more I explore this place, the bigger it is. Still haven't seen that end. It goes like another 40 minutes. Oh. Tent time. Feels so good. I split all this wood earlier. Just didn't want to have to deal with it like now when I'm ready to settle in. Trying to keep this kind of like here seems not right. I'm trying to put that somewhere where you can get a sense of what it actually feels like radiating onto me. I've got to fix this gap. This tent stake actually broke last night and I just jammed it in where I thought it was, but it needs to come quite a ways this way. And then I think I'm just going to use some of these rocks to make sure everything stays nice and tight to the floor so that I don't have any wind blowing through the tent tonight. I assume it's going to be colder than last night, and last night it was literally down to almost freezing. So, oh, my chimney's crooked too. Let's fix all that. Let's fix this place up. Yeah, let's grab some of these rocks and get this bad boy pinned down tight. That is such a nice thing to have access to, actually. It's almost like a real structure or something, not just like a tarp. Oh my God. Wow, that changed a lot in here. My plans to try to get a temp near the stove, kind of slowly coming back to life, actually. This might still work. It says 150.8 in, and for humidity it says capital L, capital L. Well, that's interesting. There legitimately is a like 8th grade trumpet player somewhere. Clean. Clean enough for solo hot tenting, I think. I don't know how it could be possible, but I feel like the leaves have gotten even more bright. I heard some mediocre singing from across the pond, and then some trumpets, and then what sounded like 2 gunshots, and then silence. Uh-oh. The bed came out, lounge chair style. We hiked, we paddled, we foliaged some more. We ate foliage for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It's a beautiful thing. By the time you see me again, it'll all vanish. It's very temporary. So, thanks for coming with me. Stick around if you want to see how I got this crap in here. It was on my paddleboard. Bro, woke up sleeping on my hands, and now they're both asleep. It's like they're vibrating. I just gotta lay here for a little bit. Sports top. Look how sports that looks. I think it's starting to rain a little bit. Just hear it. Tap, tap, tapping. I don't want to leave. I like it here. I live here now. I'm not going anywhere. Could tolerate a little rain as long as it doesn't get any colder, because it's still pretty chilly. I'll look into a different one of these. It's annoying. We got a little Inchy in here. I don't know what I'm gonna do with him. I'll have to put him back out in the rain, poor dude. Oh no. The most common questions I get are always about the stove, which makes sense, because I think it's the thing that the least people are familiar with camping. So all I've got to do, I've got this little screwdriver. I loosen up my pipe clamp and create space. So now I can just pull this stovepipe right out. So I push this damper, which is just a sheet of metal, all the way into the base to really try to block the stove down. And then I shut down these dampers in the front. Basically, I'm just gonna yank this out, leave the stovepipe right up in the tent, just hanging on, and I'm gonna drag this out of the tent. Ready? And then this pipe is titanium, so in the time it took me to go set that outside, this is already cool to the touch, and I can start disassembling. Really doesn't take long at all. And then all these other pieces just wrap around the stove. Whoa! Or get thrown all over the ground. Try that again. This piece, which you can disassemble and lie flat, but I don't. I just put it right inside my stove, and I just pack the whole stove out assembled these days, because it's really just a pain in the butt to disassemble and reassemble my model of titanium stove. And then, as silly as this sounds, I literally just put this right inside my travel tote. Like that. And then I have space to tuck other things underneath it. And that's it. Then we plug up this little hole, and then we pack this puppy out. It's just a regular tent from here. Cue the rain. The tent is no more. The boat is loaded. And it's unfortunately time to roll. This is gonna be my slowest paddle out ever, because I am just taking this in. This was a neighboring site. I didn't see anybody stay here. It's a shame.